Dewsbury TV.
Coming up in this week's show, if we had a big budget, would be we review one of the best beaches in the Costa del Sol. We recommission Concorde for a super fast flight around Dewsbury. We hire Simon Cowell to judge a talent show at Edgetop Working Men's Club.
I think we've heard enough.
We blow up a caravan.
Bye-bye.
But we don't have the big budget. So instead, coming up this week, Anna sits on a red dog. The Talks Yorkshire the nose at the Mill Batley's Yorkshire Day.
Ah, Mum!
We promo the new Treasure Hunt TV show.
I might be able to help you. I like this. Running with children that run.
We talk to our MP Simon Revel about the pending demolition of the Walker Welfare.
Back off whilst we sort out what's happening.
Special guest star Baby Dell joins us in the studio.
Bum 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 bum.
Ash fires a very old gun. There's a man down a hole at Oakwell Hall.
But the pipe itself seems to have the same kind of coating that the walls do.
We find something shiny.
Pointing trowel. I mean, the sort of thing that a builder would use to put more.
It's non-stop excitement at Dewsbury TV. I got that.
Hello, I'm Baby Dell and I'm going to be performing my country western tribute show at the Edgetop Working Men's Club on the 17th of August. So we'll see you there at 8 o'clock. Thank you.
Welcome to the news from Dewsbury TV. I'm Anna Seed.
And I'm Gail Hall.
Police and the Health and Safety Executive are investigating the tragic death of father of one, Danny Huff, aged 23, a builder who was believed to be working with others at a semi-detached house in Thornhill Estate, Staincliffe, when an accident happened. Firefighters from Dewsbury and Batley were called to the scene at around 2:20 p.m. and joined by a specialist rescue team from Cleckheaton. The street was closed in both directions and a neighbouring home was evacuated as a precaution. Emergency crews remained at the scene until late evening. Mr Huff was believed to have been trapped under rubble for some time and was later pronounced dead. A spokesman for West Yorkshire Police said enquiries were ongoing.
Last Wednesday, the Flat Cap 5, organised by Dewsbury Roadrunners member Tony Audsley, was expected to attract as many as 200 participants and raise hundreds for the Dewsbury Reporter Series Fund. The turnout was good, with runners from across the district braving the mud and rain to raise money for the Reporter Series Fund. The race is in its second year now and covers a 5-mile scenic route, which finishes at the Leggers Inn at Saviltown Wharf, Dewsbury. Prizes were presented in various race categories and, of course, for the best flat cap.
A balaclava-clad man tried to rob a shop in Murfield on the 28th of July. A man wearing a balaclava entered Lee Green newsagent at approximately 8:10 in the evening and demanded cash from one of the duty staff. The staff member refused and the man ran away from the store. He was described as white, with tanned appearance, around 16 to 20 years old, of slim build and between 5'7" and 5'10" tall. He was also said to be wearing blue and white tracksuit bottoms and a jacket which was half blue with a diagonal white stripe. Contact police on 101 if you know anything of this incident.
And that's the news from Dewsbury TV. I'm Gail Hall.
And I'm Anna Seed.
We want you to be a part of the show. If you've got any interesting pictures or videos, please send them to us at dewsburytv@gmail.com.
On Thursday, the 1st of August, we were invited to Batley Mills Yorkshire Day.
And it was my birthday! It was. So where's my card?
I Facebooked it to you. whether you're buying a suit or having a brew. It's a right good day out at Batley Mill.
Happy Yorkshire Day. Happy Yorkshire Day. We're pensioners and we don't do out normally, but because it's for the Forget-Me-Not Children's Hospice, we said, okay, we'll get out of bed early and we'll come down here and do a bit. So we're going to do a bit of Yorkshire dialect poetry for you. This is about a traveller, and he was a guy, not like the other travellers. This guy would take the garden gates off and light off the church roof and everything and empty his skip. And he was called Ernie Dunn. It's called the Death of Ernie Dunn. When Ernie Dunn was still alive, folks said he were no good. But now he's dead, they've changed the tune. He's called Misunderstood. But Ernie Dunn can hear him not as he climbs Golden Stair. At last, he gets to Golden Gates and thunders, "On there!" "What does I want?" St. Peter says. "Why does I make that din? I'm Ernie Dunn, old Joe Dunn's son. They better let me in." St. Peter shakes his holy head. "So thy name's Dunn, I trow. No Dunn gets into heaven, son. Thee up it down below." "Look here, old chap," said Ernie Dunn. "Thee face is nice and kind. Thee take a look at Golden Book. I'm sure they'll change their mind." "Well, just to please thee," Peter says, "I'll look at Golden Book. Though going by what I've heard of thee, I'm flayed there's hard to look." St. Peter goes to look at book. He thought old Dunn would wait. When he come back, old Dunn were going, and so were Golden Gate.
Hi, my name's Anna, we're with Dewsbury Tv. Can I ask you what your name is, please?
Yeah, my name's Vicky Dacre.
Okay, and what's your role here at the mill?
I'm the retail marketing assistant.
Okay, and today's event, is it the inaugural event?
Yeah, it's the first time we've done anything for Yorkshire Day. Basically, the Forget-Me-Not Children's Hospice, a local charity, they have a hospice in Huddersfield. They wanted people to organise Yorkshire tea parties to celebrate Yorkshire Day.
On my birthday, of course.
Thursday, the 1st of August.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So we decided to do a bit of a tea party, do some fundraising for them, because it's a charity we've worked with a lot before. And with it being local, it's great to support, and so we just thought we'd do something today and raise lots of money for them, hopefully.
Okay, and I'm taking it that purple is the colour of Forget-Me-Not.
It is, yeah. It's also kind of the colour of the mill as well.
Oh,
so,
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you learn something new every day. And we're both wearing these little roses. You can get these. Are these to go to Forget-Me-Not as well?
Yeah.
For these. How much are these?
£1 for these.
Excellent. So we're planning on doing this again next year.
I don't know, it depends how much we raise. But yeah, I mean, everyone's enjoyed it, I think. And we've got quite a lot of staff dressing up in flat caps and Yorkshire roses.
And what events have you got going on today? So?
We've got plenty of stuff for the kids. We've had a teddy bears picnic, bouncy castle, we've got garden games. They can decorate biscuits, they can make some bunting. And then we've got lots of fundraising things as well, like name the teddy bear, guess how many sweets in the jar. We've got a treasure hunt around the top floor, which is the homeware department, so people can follow clues and find their way around there and then win a big hamper full of goodies from the top floor. So, yeah.
Well, that's it. Thank you very much for your time. Cheers.
My name's Tina and I'm representing the Forget-Me-Not Children's Hospice in Huddersfield, which covers all this area, and it's for terminally ill children, but often they're not just terminally ill, they go in for respite care to relieve the family and they go in and there's a hydrotherapy pool, we've got sensory room, we've got everything, but obviously it takes a lot of money to run it, like 2.5 million a year, and it's taken us 12 years to raise all the money to build it, so we need a lot of events like this. And Batley Mill Shops, we're their sponsored charity, so anything like this I come and help and sell my wares and donations.
Right, did you say you were a volunteer?
Yes.
So you don't get paid at all for this?
No. And my granddaughter's a volunteer as well.
Fantastic. Beautiful volunteer, I have to say. I know that my cousin's little boy has Duchenne muscular dystrophy, so they're at an event today in Huddersfield.
Yes, yeah. And the fundraisers do an extremely hard job. I just help them, but they do an extremely hard job. It is hard.
I imagine it is.
Yes, yeah.
So everybody listen. We need you to support the Forget Me Not Children's Trust and give them as much money as they can, because they help all children with all kinds of different ailments and terminally ill children at all sorts. It's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jump down. You ready? 1, 2, 3. What have we got so far? Oh, you've got quite a lot done. Peter Jones, James Martin. I don't understand. Why have we got these answers? How did you come up with these answers? So where's your next clue going to be? This one, for example?
Yeah, this is here.
This is here?
Yeah, and they're over there.
And where's the clue for here?
Over there, there's them too.
Oh, let's have a look at these clues. Let's have a look. I might be able to help you. Like this. Come on, girls, let's go find out. She was up to you. Oh, look there. Victoria Redding. There. It's got to be that one, hasn't it? Hasn't it? Yeah. So she was not amused, it's got to be Victoria Redding. It's a design. It's a design. The name of it's Jazz. Jazz! I feel dead clever.
Much Yorkshire pudding, and I get stomachache fit to bring tears. So when they tried to see doctor, it was first time I'd seen him for years. He says, "There seems to poison this old lad, and it could even move right to the heart." I said, "By gum, it sounds bad for me. What can I do?" And he says, "First and all, we'll have all the teeth out." I said, "They dumped me an all and I'm duster." "Aye," he says, "every last one while they're able." I thought he means well, just old lad, and I suppose it's for best. So I took them all out and shoved them up table. Thank you.
So it's a great place to come shopping. There's menswear, ladies wear, there's somewhere you can have a drink and somewhere to get lunch. It's a fantastic day out, so why not come down to see us at the Mill Batley on Bradford Road, WF17 5LZ. Hope to see you soon.
Hello, I'm Baby Dell and I watch Dewsbury TV.
And here's a what's on in our area. A 9-day event celebrating life in the great outdoors will have boats and bikes at the heart of it. It takes place over Saturday and Sunday, the 10th and 11th of August, 10 a.m. till late.
There will be a host of free activities for families to enjoy at the coupling of the Canal Fest with the Cycle Fest.
The event is part of Dewsbury Regeneration Board's Outdoor Dewsbury initiative to promote the town's countryside, parks and green spaces and encourage people to get active.
Attractions at the Canal Fest will include music, a best dressed boat competition, rock climbing, free boat trips, guided nature walks, a fairground, circus skills training and a boat pull competition at 3 p.m. on the Sunday.
Activities will end on Sunday, August the 18th, with Cycle Fest cycle at Sands Lane playing fields, 11 a.m. till 3 p.m.
Activities at the Cycle Fest will include a decorated bike and scooter parade, an elevated wooden riding track, a bike treasure hunt and unicycle circus skills.
The whole festival, funded by Dewsbury Area Committee and Gig Lottery Project, Dewsbury Waterlinked, is now in its 4th year and has been organised by Kirklees Council and the Canal and River Trust.
Other outdoor Dewsbury activities will include stand-up paddleboarding on August the 10th and family canoe river journeys on August 12th and 15th.
Opportunities for young adventurers to get their Bear Grylls experience on during wild foraging and friction firelighting sessions will also be there.
And don't forget, as we mentioned last week, it's the Murfield Show on the 18th of August and Dewsbury on Sea on the 25th of August.
And that's the events in our area this week.
The pending demolition of the Walker Welfare Centre has been an ongoing confrontation. This week our MP Simon Revel became involved and attended a meeting to talk with local residents.
My name's Simon Revel. Can I just tell you what I understand the position to be so that you've got all the information that I have? According to the charity commissioners, there is a trust that's run by Kirklees that means that they're responsible for the building and that the building should have been kept in good order, and that we know from some of the letters and reports I've seen this morning that they've been told about the problems and they don't seem to have done anything about it. So there are a set of questions about how did we come to be where we are, how does the building come to be in the condition that it is in, and who is responsible for that, whose fault is it? But that doesn't actually solve the problem of what's happening with the building. So those are proper questions and they need answering, but I'll just leave those for a moment. In terms of the building, Kirklees say no, we're not the trustees. The trust was wound up in I think 2000, and we've got to demolish it for health and safety reasons. Now, the Charity Commission, just dealing with that point, say no, what in 2000 it all changed for this bit of land here and for the school, but not for the centre. What we need to do is we need to get some time to find out actually who's responsible for it, what state is it in, what actually needs to happen. And so what I'm going to do on Monday is ask Kirklees to forget about this deadline of the 21st of August and forget about this demolition within the next couple of months, because there's nothing about it, it seems to me, that means that it's particularly dangerous. There's no urgency, and once it's down, it's never going to get rebuilt. So the first thing they need to do is just take a little bit of time to work out quite what's going on. Now, they have in the past said there's £100,000 available. They're now saying, oh, well, it would cost £200,000 to fix. But I'm told that there are some good people up here with the skills to do some of the work. Well, £200,000 assumes that you're paying for labour, you're paying for the profit, the people, what you get the contract make. If you've got people with the skills, and if you've got £100,000, then you might be able to do a £200,000 job. You see where I'm coming from. So again, you know, we need to find out what's going on and what's viable. I can't make them, and even if they are the trustees, actually they would be allowed to demolish it, although if they replaced it, it would have to be with a building for the community. They couldn't put housing on it. But what I want them to do is understand the strength of feeling that there is up here, and understand that really people aren't asking for anything unreasonable. They're just asking their council to take a bit of time to look at the decision and try and make a decision that the people in this area think is the best decision. So that will, I hope I'll get a chance to speak to their chief executive on Monday. Well, it's the acting chief executive, he's away, but there's someone else doing that job. And I hope we can get some time. And if we get the time, what we're going to need to do then is have a meeting, and we're going to have to put the word out and say, look, you know, if you're a builder, if you're an electrician, if you're a plumber, and if you would like to get involved, we need to see you at this place at this time on this day, because we need to know if this is a runner or not. So any information I get, I'll pass to you, if I may, and then you can circulate it to the group. And really what's important as well is if you can get people in the area just to write to Kirklees, not giving them a hard time, but just saying that it's an important building in the community and you really feel that they ought to take a little bit of time just to get this decision right. And you know, the more people do that, the better, because if they get a letter, when I phone, they'll say, well, you know, one person's bothered, nobody else is. If they've had 100 letters, it's a different kettle of fish. So it's a question of doing what we can to make it an issue for them, because it's a long way from Huddersfield, so they're not so bothered, and we've got to make sure that it's on their desk and that they've got to take it seriously. If anybody's got any information about the building, about what it's been used for in the past, just so we can make it come alive a bit as well, because we're talking about saving it, and we want to make people realise that it's a building with a history, and the more we can show that, then the harder it is for them to come and knock it down. So again, I'm sure you've been doing this already, but if get the word out there that if somebody's got information, and frankly, if there's someone that's very, very old that remembers it a very, very long time ago, that's a really good story, and they're really good reasons for getting a local authority to back off and give a building a chance. I don't know if anybody's got anything that you want to ask me about this. You're very, very welcome to.
I'd just like to say, Mr. Revel, thank you for coming and giving us your time. I'd just like to say, is there any chance that the Ministry of Culture, I don't understand politics, but Ministry of Culture could get involved in order to put an official stay on having it demolished until we can get together and get something done?
I don't know. I think the answer is that it's down to Kirklees, because the Charity Commission saying that Kirklees are the trustees, then that gives them the say over it. But if there's anything, and so I don't want to sort of give any sort of false hope, but if there's anything that I can sort of do at that level, then I will do it. But I think the reality is that it's going to be down to us to persuade Kirklees to take a different view. I don't think there's anybody that can wave a big stick and make them.
How about Mr. Pickles?
Mr. Pickles, well, he's got a big stick. Let's just turn my phone off, sorry.
Never mind his belly.
He's, the way that we've run things since we got into government is that we make local authorities responsible for what they do. And the idea is then that they have to listen to local people, otherwise they get in trouble. The problem we've got in Kirklees is they're not very good at listening.
So can't Mr. Pickles wave his big stick?
He can't make them. The way that this is set up, because we believe it's in a trust, the charity commissioners tell us that, it means it's Kirklees, and it's Kirklees who've got to answer for it, and the government can't make them do things.
Surely you can have a word in there and say, look, come on, behave yourself.
I tell you what, I wish it worked like that, but it shouldn't work like that actually, because otherwise you could have a minister saying to Kirklees who weren't going to knock it down, come on, get that knocked down. It would work both ways, and you can't be doing it like that.
Last time somebody did say to him, come on, pull your finger out.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you there.
In this day and age, a local authority that is not listening to the people and the way they're behaving and then coming down with bulldozer is absolutely not acceptable.
Yeah, I agree.
But the question or the point that I want to make is that I think there are too many unanswered questions at that stage, and I'm very pleased that you are going to speak to them on Monday, and then hopefully that maybe you can persuade them to step back, and then we can sit down and talk about this. But in worst case scenario, because they put this legal notice up now and the deadline is 22nd of August, if that is still, if they don't listen and they want to go ahead, is there a possibility that we could take a legal step, which is an injunction or a judicial review, and you as our MP, but also with your legal profession, maybe if you could assist us?
The answer to that is maybe, because it looks, on the face of it, it looks as if this hasn't been done right for a long time, and it looks a very rushed decision, and if they've not followed their own rules, and if they've done things in a way they shouldn't have done, then they can be stopped. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't go down that route. It's got to be a last resort, because it costs money, and once you start getting courts involved, then you generally lose the possibility of negotiating and sorting out. But I wouldn't write it off, because there is, the Charity Commission are saying Kirklees aren't doing it right. We've seen reports going back to 2007 where people are saying you need to be putting some work in here, and they've not done it. So, perhaps. And I think again, it's for the group to make a decision. But I think if the group was sort of saying, look, we feel so strongly about this that as a last resort we would look at that, then I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing to say. And it's right that Kirklees know that, because my experience of them is that they are indifferent to people, and it's only when they think that they might actually be facing a bit of a fight, that they suddenly think, well, okay, is there a better way of doing it? So I think that we need to let them know that this isn't a pushover. You know, they're not knocking down some chicken shed on an allotment here. This is a building that's important to people. So yeah, I mean, I think that's something to have at the back of our minds. Sure.
Well, thank you. And I think the reason I asked that, I believe that we have sufficient documentary evidence to prove that council has not followed the process of decision making, and for that reason, then maybe that is an option. But I go along with you. That has to be a last option if we was to go. Can I just also say that I think it's terribly shameful that we have 3 ward councillors and none of them are here this morning. Simon have I think a limited responsibility in this, but the ward councillor who have already publicly stated in the news media that they have not been even consulted by Kirklees Council on this. If that is the case, and I can tell you from my experience as ex-councillor, that they can go and knock on the chief executive door and say, we want you to stop till we're going to sort this out properly, and because they have the mandate on your behalf. And they just seem to be disappeared and not doing anything about it. My advice to the people is that we need to write to them, demand answer from the ward councillor and say, come on, it's your duty. And it's really, really shameful that they're not here this morning.
Well, about a week ago, we started in the office getting emails saying that there were threats to this building. And so obviously we began to look into it, and there's a real conflict about who owns, who's responsible, whether there's a trust. The charity commissioners say one thing, Kirklees say another, and it just worried me that this was all being rushed, and it was a really nice building that's really important to people who live up here, threatened with demolition over a very short period of time. So I arranged a meeting, and a lot of people have come along this morning, all saying the same thing. And what we want Kirklees to do is just to back off whilst we sort out what's happening, work out who's responsible, and also we want to get to the bottom of who allowed this to happen, because it's clear that there have been reports and information for a lot of years explaining the problems, work that needs to be done, and the local authorities just not done anything. Whether it's all a bit too far from Huddersfield for them, whether they've got other reasons, I don't know, but we need to sort that out. But the main thing we need to do is make sure that nothing happens quickly, because if this building were to be knocked down, of course it would never go up again, and that just wouldn't be right.
I was involved with this back in 2005 and 6 when I was first asked by the senior citizen group who were based in this building to try to help them with issues of repairs, etc. And I took that issue up with Kirklees. So my involvement with this building is almost for 10-12 years. And since then I have asked Kirklees Council on a number of occasions. In fact, I asked very first time back in 2006 and 7, managed to get the council to produce a severe structural engineer report for this building, which they did. And that report highlighted a number of issues that needed sorting out, and council agree, as I understand at the time, that they're going to carry out the work. And to this day, unfortunately, they never followed that. Had they done that work, I believe that we wouldn't have been stood here talking about this situation today. So really, it's a very shameful record of Kirklees Council for not to do what they should have done. It's their responsibility. This building is a registered charity trust, and Kirklees, as I understand, are the trustees of that trust. So it's their legal responsibility to ensure that this building is properly maintained, and they have failed in their legal responsibility, and now they come up with this absolutely rushed through area decision to demolish the building. As you have listened to the people and our MP Simon Revel, that we believe that this is not acceptable. There is no need to rush through with this. They need to step back, listen to the people, because people of Thornhill believe that this is an historic importance building. This is their heritage. They want to retain this, and I believe that we need to work all together to ensure that we do keep this building, and I believe that we can. In addition to that, I think I just want to point out that it is also important that the people of Thornhill are being listened to. There is very, very strong feeling in Thornhill. The Kirklees Council do not listen. And I can say that from my experience as ex-councillor for this area for 14 years, that shamefully that is the kind of behaviour and record of Kirklees Council. They don't seem to listen. And this day and age, in 21st century, 2013, when there are revolution taking place in the world, and people are making their governments and their elected representative to listen to them, and yet here in 21st century in England, United Kingdom, the country which is a role model for the world as a democracy, and yet we have a Kirklees Council that is absolutely behaving arrogantly and not listening to people. They think ordinary people are nobody, but I think we're going to prove them wrong, that the people power is stronger than their power that they have in Huddersfield, and they have to listen to the people. And I am going to do all I can in my role as ex-councillor, but somebody who have been involved with this issue for last 10 years, and with my experience, I am going to do everything I can to ensure that we protect this building from the bulldozer of Kirklees Council.
Hiya, Beebi.
Hello.
And thanks for joining us at Dewsbury TV.
You're welcome.
You're a country and western singer, and you do cabaret as well?
Oh, that's right. I'm currently, I do a main cabaret show, and I'm just starting to do the country western tribute, which is on the 17th of August at Edge Top Working Men's Club.
Yeah. How long have you been singing?
Oh, since I was about 11 years old. My dad was a singer. He used to work in the clubs and everything, so I always kind of grew up with him being my idol. Fantastic voice, so I just kind of grew up into it, and that's what I always wanted to do. Went onto stage, worked with Marty Kane, I did television work, and then it kind of went on from there. And then when the time came, straight into the clubs, really.
And you love it?
Yep.
Have you done cruise ships and...
I haven't done the cruise ships yet because I've always been a little bit seasick and things, but I'm getting there. I have done all the Haven Warner, all the camps, all the summer seasons, worked with Jimmy James and the Vagabond, Shiwaddy Waddy, and a lot of top acts there, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm actually a bit starstruck, that's kind of cool.
It is. Very good while you're doing it, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of travelling though.
Yeah, but it's got to be good fun.
Yeah, it's fantastic fun, yeah. I can't see me doing anything else.
No.
You know.
And what's your favourite song to sing?
I love singing This Is the Moment, which is a big show song from a show called Jekyll and Hyde. It's got all the high notes in, all the build and everything. And then I also love I'm Alive by a lady called Celine Dion, who I'm sure you know. It's a nice fast one, gets everybody going. Cracking song, that one. Yeah.
Fab. So when you do your show at Edge Top on the 17th, it's a country and western tribute?
It's a country western tribute. It's like there's going to be Billy Joe Spears songs, Tammy Wynette, Carrie Underwood, a bit of everybody in there. It's not just all like Dolly Parton or, you know, it's just going to be a full mismatch, old up to the new stuff. So hopefully nobody's going to get bored, and it's a bit of everything for everybody.
You have everybody up line dancing?
Yes. Well, last time I was at Edge Top, on the second song I sang Country Roads. That was the second song of the night, and they were all up line dancing. So I'm glad that's where I'm doing my tribute show.
Excellent.
My first tribute show, the Country Western.
I'm going to have to crack out my boots in the
Oh,
end.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, get a line dancing class in.
God forbid I have no coordination, it would be disastrous.
Well, neither have I, don't worry, that's why I'm singing.
I'll just come and sit on the end of the stage then, and that'll bit of a wiggle.
I'm sure you'll get your feet tapping.
Yes, that's good. I like it when we've got involvement with our audience.
Well, that's it. I think there's a lot of tribute acts going out, and it could be all Celine Dion or whatever, and it can be a bit, you know, but this one, it's going to get you up, it's going to get you dancing, there's going to be some fast ones, slow ones. It's not just one person. It's the whole bag, if you like.
Excellent. You have a website where people can get in touch with you, yeah?
I do. It's babydell.com. There's all my songs are on there. You can buy my albums. I've got my first album is just a cabaret album with all show songs like my normal cabaret show. And then we've just done my latest one, which is Baby Dell, A Country Girl. We've just done that. That's just come this week.
Excellent.
That's for sale on there as well, or you can buy it on the night if you ever come and see one of the shows. So that's babydell.com. There's a few videos on there. The website is beebi@babydell.com. But all the info's on the website anyway.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you ever so much.
Been
Nice
lovely
meeting
talking
you.
to
Thank you.
Thank you.
And here is the feedback for this week.
Kevin Whittaker on YouTube. Another great show. Great to see what's happening locally. Cheers, Kevin.
And from Barbara Burns from YouTube again. Brilliant as usual.
Abigail Hall. This is an amazing programme. And my mum is in it. Did she make you say that, Abigail?
And Tony Ray from Facebook says, great show again, but do you know what would have made it even better? If Anna had done a bush tucker trial at the Bobtown food stall. Laugh out loud. Well done, guys. Keep up the good work. In fact, that was an impressive interview. It's like, what do you sell? Oh, I don't like any of it.
Okay, so Facebook, we've got Chris Nero. He said, great coverage. Keep it up.
And Martin Hall from Facebook says, Magnifico 000.
Spud Wood, Facebook again. Spud thinks you're great. In fact, the whole crew makes me laugh.
Good. I borrowed Spud's nickname for the week, by the way. You can have it back at the end of the week, don't worry. And from Melody Jane Kershaw from Facebook. You never fail to satisfy. Thank you, Dewsbury TV. Wish we had you on every day. Keep up the wonderful work, and again, you guys and girls rock. Watched this morning with my daughter, and she laughed when she heard my name and said, Mum, you're becoming a regular on Dewsbury TV. It makes me happy that Dewsbury TV thinks my Facebook comments are worth mentioning on the show.
Kelly McClure Warby via Facebook. Enjoyable. You folks have fun doing this, and it shows. Thank you for sharing your passion.
And from Stephen Croft at Facebook, I think he lives in Thailand. He says, great episode. The beer bash had me yearning for a proper beer. I can only get lager here in the sticks. I'd kill for a pint of bitter.
It's Facebook again. We've got Jeff Blacker. Good stuff again, folks. Love the Bobtown Beer Bash. If you fancy something different, it's our village's annual sardine festival this weekend.
Harry Overend again from Facebook. Another fun-filled episode of Dewsbury TV. It just gets better and better. Well done, crew.
Christopher Kirkham on Facebook. Great to watch a programme that's all about local things in the Dewsbury area. Keep up the good work, guys.
But the pipe itself seems to have the same kind of coating that the walls do.
I mean, the sort of thing that a builder would use to put more back.
And that's the end of this week's show. Thank you for watching. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Bum, 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 life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, rolling like the breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home, country roads. Yeah!
Well done. Well done.
Gotta be tea time.
Don't finish.
Country roads.
A man wearing a balaclava entered Lee Green Newsagent. A man wearing a balaclava entered Lee Green. I can't even do that. I can't.
Mountain mama, take me home.
Hiya, BB.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us at Dewsbury TV. I hear you've got some gigs coming up.
I have. I'm quite busy at the moment. Taking on quite a few, not a lot. Gosh, cut.
Okay. Are we going to do 10 takes here?
No!
Usually it's 10.
Shut up! Last one, let's go.
News take 7.
Okay, Facebook again. We've got Kelly McClure Warby. Enjoyable, she puts. You folks have done this and it shows. No.
Try that again.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Oh, it's enjoyable. Never.
News take 1.
Coming up in this week's show, if we had a big budget, would be we review the best. It's because it's there. I just see boobs.
Firefighters from Dewsbury and Batley were caught to the scene. Oh, Robert, sorry.
What are you? Stupid! We'll start again!
News take
3,000!
Only number 3. We've only just got going.
Opportunities for young adventurers to get their Bear Grylls experience during the Wild Food Forest. No. Opportunities for young adventurers to get their Bear Grylls.
We're mad. Man, I've gone over with mush, I think. Yeah. That's it.
Road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country roads.
Hello, I'm Baby Dell and I'm going to be performing my country western tribute show at the Edgetop Working Men's Club on the 17th of August. So we'll see you there at 8 o'clock. Thank you.
To mama, take me